In this video, I want to talk to you about what should be the most important 10 minutes of any day for a piano student. Really any music student, but especially a piano student. And it's not something that is talked about enough in the music world. What am I talking about? Self-care. And there is a way to do self-care as a piano student sitting at a piano. How do I know this? Because I don't just do this with my students, and I've literally taught hundreds of students over the last 15 years as a music professor and a piano player and a composer and an educator and a music author. But I don't just do this with students. I do this myself, literally every day. So let's dive into it. How can you have self-care as a pianist when you are feeling burnt out? So one of the things that I find really sad and I hate to see is when a piano student is starting to look so tired and burnt out from studying piano. And I hate that. Yes, piano takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, right? I'm a professor, I'm a teacher. I'm a huge advocate for you need to study, you need to practice. Yes, you need to learn chords and scales and sheet music and technique and all of that stuff. Of course, I'm a teacher. Obviously, I value that. But students often get so burdened by that. They enter from a passion of music and then they get weighed down by the work of music and quote unquote studying music to the point that that's what piano becomes to them. And when piano only becomes something to study, it's not going to have as long of a lifespan. I don't want students or myself to feel burnt out and the last thing they want to do is wake up and go to a piano tomorrow. That's not good. But the key is to not take a vacation from piano. The answer isn't to just walk away and take a break from the piano. It's to sit at the piano and do something different than what you've been doing. And this is what I want you to do. So after a day of a lot of practicing and rehearsing, or you just feel burnt out, you are going to take 10 minutes and remind yourself at the piano why you love piano. What got you to there in the first place? We all have stories, and usually they're cute or heartwarming, especially if we started when we were younger. Why did you want to learn how to play piano? What did you love about music? And it has to be a reason from you, so it can't be my parents wanted me to learn, or my best friend was doing it, so I had to do it too, or I wanted to make my teacher proud, right? I mean, all of those are wonderful, but why did you want to learn how to play piano and what got you excited? And can you remember that? Because it should be you love it. So I'll tell you a couple of cute stories for me that I remind myself about. When I was very little, the very first song I ever learned how to play as a kid, and it was one note at a time melody, and I learned it from a big note music book, and it was how to play Disney's It's a Small World. Very cute song, and I remember being so excited that I learned how to play that melody, and I did it in a talent show at my elementary school. I did not win the talent show. Whatever. I'm not bitter. But I remember that feeling of being young and being like, oh my gosh, I learned how to play It's a Small World. I remember the first time I learned how to put two hands together. I was learning Disney's Beauty and the Beast. I was a big Disney kid. But I remember that feeling of how I put two hands together and notes were happening at the same time. I remember the first time I sat and tried to play music by ear, like, oh, I'm going to listen to something and try to hear it on the piano and try to pluck it out. It was the theme to Jurassic Park because I loved that movie as a kid and I wanted to be able to play that really cool melody that was happening when the dinosaurs came on screen. Whatever. For a lot of my students, it was their favorite pop song. They wanted to learn how to play their favorite song that they listened to on the radio or in the gym or on Spotify or whatever. What is it that got you into music? It was probably a song that you loved, or you wanted to learn how to play something, or you loved the sound of something. What can you do at the piano for 10 minutes to get you back into that mindset? And there's a couple of ways to do it. So one is you could sit and literally play that, right? If I sit and play It's a Small World with just one finger, I'll start to laugh and I'll get giddy and I'll remember, oh yeah, I remember how excited I was when I learned that. Right? I will sit and listen to a clip of one of my favorite film score soundtracks and just listen and remind myself how gorgeous I find that. And then can I try to play with it, right? I'm going to show you something that you can also do that I do at a piano. I'll pick a couple of random chords that I just love the sound of. So here's 4 chords that I love. kind of in that progression. So now what I'm going to do, I'm not going to try to study it and compose and write really intelligent music and really try to think about what I'm doing. I'm just going to jam on the 4 chords because I love the sound of the 4 chords and just let my hands create something just for the pleasantry of my ears. So let me do that for a few seconds. I love the sound of it. And I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm going to tell you something that I probably shouldn't tell you as a professor. Yes, I love all the academics and all the repertoire of music that I've learned. Doing that, I love just as much. I love just as much. Just jamming on some chords that I love the sound of and closing my eyes and just letting the sound remind me why I love it so much. That is just as good for my brain and ears and heart and soul and spirit as playing a song that I worked really hard to learn. It all matters. So instead of trying to walk away from the piano, take 10 minutes at the end of each day and remind yourself why you love it. Play your favorite pop song, play a couple of random chords you love the sound of, listen to your favorite film soundtrack and try to pick it out, or just sit and let your fingers do interesting things. Play your favorite Disney tune you loved as a kid. I don't care. Remind yourself why you got into piano, because the next morning you will wake up more excited to want to continue music, because you will remember why you wanted to do music in the first place. Because once something becomes a study and we start to study music really hard, we oftentimes focus so much on this journey we're on and this finish line that is always in front of us that we don't stop to look back at where we came from. And it's more exciting to look at the race and where you're going if you can constantly remind yourself what started the race to begin with. Why did you even start that? So do this. I do this all the time. I have my students do it. I still do it. So I'm going to do this tonight for myself, and I want you to as well. And then let me know in the comments if this helped. Does it help sort of meditate and remind you, take you back to the place of where you love music? Because you will do better at studying music and doing all of the difficult stuff you need to do as a piano student if you can always center yourself and take 10 minutes every day to remind yourself, your heart, your spirit, your ears, everything. Remind yourself why you love music. And it's probably for a very simple and heartwarming reason. Okay, so let me know in the comments if you did this. I'm going to do it too. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do it. Just whatever comes to your mind. Okay, and if you want to watch even more videos that I have, diving into a bunch of fun music stuff that I love geeking out about, then click on a video somewhere on this screen. I'll see you over there. And until then, keep making music.